The main thing, we issued this last week because we wanted to give folks plenty of time to protect their outdoor plants and to maybe think about some home preps as well. So there's still time today, but things are going to be changing up. And I want to bring in an expert to talk to us a little bit about this. This is Megan Garrity, the Associate Extension Agent of Agriculture and Natural Resources with Virginia Co-op Extension for the city of Norfolk. Megan, it's good to have you this morning. Wow, a big cold snap coming. What should folks think about doing around their homes and to protect their plants?
Hey, Craig, thank you so much for having me on the show. So I wanted to take a minute today to talk to everyone about the 3 things that you can do today to prepare your garden. So the first would be to cover your plants. The second is to water your soil and then move some containers. And I can go into more depth on that if you'd like me to right now, or we can wait.
No, this is great. You know, I always think about it, people say, oh, do we have to put down, plastic, or do you recommend like maybe throwing down some extra mulch? What do you think? What are the kind of some of the best easy things people can do to try to protect those tender vegetation or plants?
Right. That's a great question. So when we have these frosts like this, the biggest concern is our tender plants, like you just stated. So we're worried about our warm season vegetables and our tropical ornamentals. And something that you can do to cover your plants, if you do not have a frost cloth, is to go upstairs into your linen closet and grab a sheet. And you can take this sheet and cover your plants. As long as you make sure that you are anchoring it down at the bottom, and you want to make sure it's still lifted off of the surface of the leaf. So that's the first step, something easy that we may have on hand already.
So you could actually almost like create a little tent for the plants by maybe putting some little dowels or stakes up and then hanging the sheet over it, something like that maybe?
Yes, that could work. The biggest thing is just making sure that you're creating this climate where you're kind of like tucking your plant in a way. So if you have some garden stakes, you can put them, kind of lift them off of your plants. As long as this is draped over nice and loosely over top of it, you should be all right.
Nice. Now, okay, if you don't have the ability to throw sheets over your plants or whatever, obviously you can bring things indoors. Are there any other like trips or tricks or hacks or anything that you would suggest or are there any plants that are particularly vulnerable right now? Some of them might be hardy enough to make it through something like this, but with potential freeze down into the 20s for some areas, what plants need to be most concerned with?
So a lot of your plants that are going to be most susceptible are going to be your citruses or your annuals. Your annuals go through one life cycle, and around here we have a lot of them in our landscape beds. But some people have citrus or even like our beautiful hibiscus, and those are in containers that you could move into your house. Now, in your vegetable garden, your peppers and your tomatoes, I would suggest going ahead and pulling the fruit off of those plants tonight just in case. But we also have an opportunity right now to plant some cool season crops, most of your brassicas. So your collards and your spinaches, and those will do just fine with cold, actually.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So we are getting kind of a little bit later in the season, but for folks that are maybe thinking about preparing, once we get beyond just tonight's cold weather, thinking about spring, while I've got you here and you're a great resource, are there any plants that you would suggest folks thinking about trying to get in the ground now for next spring, or is there any window of opportunity to do anything, or is it starting to get too late in the season? Where are we?
So there is a window of opportunity here. If we don't get too deep of a frost or freeze tonight, you should be able to plant some vegetables in your garden bed. Again, those brassicas will do fine. And a lot of your carrots and garlic can overwinter, and they end up tasting so great in spring. You can also go ahead and just start planning for your spring garden. And we want to wait till after that last frost and freeze has hit in spring before we start planting back in the ground, just waiting for the soil to start warming back up.
Megan, so much information. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes out. I appreciate you bearing with us. We were having a little connection problem right before the start of the show. You've been awesome. And again, we thank you for sharing your expertise in this matter, okay? Hopefully everybody takes steps to prepare their plants.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. And Virginia Cooperative Extension is here as a resource. So thank you.
All right. Great job. Thank you so much, Megan.